In your headlines, the leader of the opposition responds to the current Minister of Health's interview. Fortis TCI has signed a 3-year partnership, and Governor Nigel Dakin chaired the third meeting of Cabinet. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your #1 source for news, I'm Erica Pinales, delivering the latest from across the country this Friday, January 21st, 2022, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. In today's top story, His Excellency the Governor Nigel Dakin chaired the third meeting of Cabinet on Wednesday, January 12, 2022 at the Premier's office. We bring you the latest. From a press release, we've gathered that at this meeting, they discussed a proposed marketing and strategic plan to grow the financial services industry in TCI and agreed next steps. They approved for the signing of previously agreed amendments to National Insurance Board regulations and necessary actions to bring the following into operation on the 1st of April, 2022. A. National Insurance Benefit Amendments Number 3, Regulations 2022. B. National Insurance Contribution Amendments Number 4, Regulations 2022. And C. National Insurance Financial and Accounting Amendments Number 3, Regulations 2022. In the meeting, they approved the reallocation of funds within the Ports Authority capital budget for 2021-22 to implement a funding gap for the South Caicos pavement project. They also approved planning application SC-839 for the construction of a temporary terminal building at the South Caicos Airport. Cabinet retrospectively approved planning application GT for the use of 2 containers as fire halls in the Grand Turk Airport. They approved an extension to the customs import duty exemption to exempt payment of import customs duty on the importation of personal protective equipment, cleaning and sanitization supplies for a further 6 months up to and including the 4th of July 2022. They approved the recommendations by the Invest TCI Board to appoint a named individual as Chief Executive Officer of Invest Turks and Caicos Islands Agency for a period of 3 years with effect from February 1st, 2022. They noted and supported the introduction of genomic sequencing in the TCI to enhance national surveillance capability of the COVID-19 virus. Updated by the Ministry of Education on its roadmap for the phased reopening of schools, and discussed representations made by the TCI Christian Council on COVID-19 regulations. In this meeting, condolences were offered on the passing of First Establishment Secretary, the late Mrs. Isabel Adams, and was updated on issues related to the Ministries of Immigration, Home, Health, Finance, Tourism, Infrastructure, Education, the Office of the Deputy Governor, and Attorney General's Chambers. The press release finally entailed that further information on these matters will be provided by ministries in due course. Today, the police commissioner, along with the governor, spoke extensively about the crime situation in the country and steps being taken to curb crime. Take a look.
Commissioner of Police Trevor Button has come out and personally addressed the recent upsurge in crime around the islands, seeking to reassure the public that he and his officers are working assiduously to bring the situation under control.
We are experiencing another surge in serious crime. The fact remains, it's a relatively small number of people that are responsible for them, as there has been on the other spikes of crime as well. And essentially, it's always hard to say this when you're having this surge in crime, but it's still a safe place to live, work and visit, but there is this surge now which is caused by this small group of young men. So you've got a tiny percentage of predominantly young men causing a very high percentage of all the harm and the fear to the people on the TCI, both in their homes and of course out wider in the community. You'll see the very visible part of policing, and that's only right and proper that we're out investigating those crimes and trying to catch those responsible. But I just want to reassure the public, there's a much broader approach to tackling this problem. And we have a lot of covert activity supporting the work of the investigators and our uniformed teams who do the hard miles on patrol, carrying out the road checks you see, executing warrants and other proactive policing activity. And you'd have seen from the releases we've made, this work is starting to really produce results. with a number of very significant arrests made in the past few weeks for serious offences, and most pleasing in most of those cases, they've led directly to charges rather than having to bail people. And it shows the improvements we're making in our investigations and also in terms of our intelligence about what we know about people before we find them. And some of those charges relate to aggravated burglary, drugs and gun crime. And there's more people in custody at the minute, and further charges will follow. So we have been extraordinarily active. And I think probably what we've not done as well as we could is make that clear to the public. And of course there's some activity we just can't talk about because that's the nature of policing and the nature of our work to locate these people and get them into custody.
During a conversation with the media today, the commissioner referenced the recent murder of Dennis Bach, a long-standing member of the Grand Turk community. He says a senior detective has moved to Grand Turk to lead the investigation, and a number of people have been interviewed. Police also have in their possession forensic samples that they are testing. Botten ensures that his officers have gathered intelligence and that they are actively pursuing lines of inquiry. Meanwhile, the commissioner confirmed that crime has increased by 2% compared to the same period last year. However, there has been a significant reduction in serious crimes, with 25% less crimes for the first 3 quarters of the recording year. The crime recording period is the first 3 quarters of the year. That would be in line with the budget cycle, April to December 2021. These numbers are compared to the same period the year before. That would be 2020.
From April to December last year, which is the first 3 quarters of the full year we measure, there were 1,235 crimes, and that's a small increase, 2%. It's actually 24 crimes compared to the year before. So there's not much change on the crime. Where there is a very significant change is in terms of that same period, so April to December, there was 184 serious crimes, and that's quite a significant reduction from the year before. It's gone down 63 crimes. So that's 63 less victims, 20% compared with the year before. So that's a positive trend forward. And over the last 5 years, we've struggled to start making the same dent into reductions of serious crime. So there's a lot of work gone into that. Just get into a bit more detail then. So I'm talking from April 21 to December 21 last year, the first 3 quarters of the year. There was 226 burglaries, and that's a small reduction. Only 1%, but it's a small reduction to the year before. There were 29 aggravated burglaries, and that's again a small increase, a small number 4, so it was 25 the year before and 16%. In terms of the murders, and this is what causes people some of the most concern, they were 18 murders for the same period in the year before, but in 2021, from April to December, there was 11 murders. And tragically, 4 of those were in December. But that is a reduction, and I don't want to talk around murders in too many crime figures in terms of 39% reduction, but we are making real progress, and not in so much just because we're investigating them better, but actually we're starting to take some people off the street. And I go back to this notion of a small number of people. Some of the people have been charged with multiple murders. And it just goes to highlight that it's a much smaller group of people than it sometimes feels when we have so many crimes. Firearms offences have shown a small increase, but robberies again have shown a big reduction. A reduction of 54 crimes, and that's 45% compared to the same period the year before. So there is some progress. We are conscious that there have been some increases in certain areas.
We'll bring you more from our conversation with the Commissioner in a subsequent newscast. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Isles.
It's time for a quick break. More News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Newswatch conducted an interview with the former Minister of Health and current leader of the opposition, Honorable Edwin Astwood, where he expressed his thoughts on the Honorable Jamel Robinson's latest interview. Here's more. Honorable Edwin Astwood pointed out that concerned residents of the TCI have reached out to him regarding the issues happening in their communities and how the current government is managing.
Many persons are questioning leadership. And they're seeing a lack of leadership, especially when it comes to handling of the pandemic. A lot of people, even their own supporters, are disappointed in their effort. And as a country, we should be. We have seen the numbers reach as higher than we ever seen them before. The highest that came when I was Minister of Health was 370. I think that was in August 2020. Now we're seeing it almost reach up to 900 active cases. And during that time, in 2020, persons would stay active for almost a whole month before they are removed off the dashboard. Only at the end of 2020, going into 21, it was cut down to 10 to 15 days. So we see it worsening now. And we're not seeing any leadership, any direction of the government in response to the COVID-19.
The leader of the opposition mentioned in a press release that the Minister of Health, quote, attempted to discredit observations that the deputy leader of the PDM&I made in a previous news interview. The Honorable Minister of Health stated that, largely, the protocols that we have in place right now are the protocols that we have inherited. As inaccurate and non-factual as this statement is, if it was so, then this would be a real disappointment, end quote.
The Honorable Minister said that he was disappointed that I would say that the dashboard, myself and the deputy leader would say that crashed in the dashboard figures. And he went on to point out that it is the same dashboard that my team and myself had put in place. But I want to say that we're not questioning the architecture or the layout or the structure of the dashboard that was put in place. We are questioning the posting of numbers, the numbers that are being posted daily. Because, for instance, suppose hypothetically the police said that there were only 3 robberies in Middle Caicos. But the people in Middle Caicos know, well, wait a second, we had about 6 or 7 robberies last night. Why is the police only saying 3? And they know it's 6 or 7. So it's the same thing. The public is saying one thing in reality, but the dashboard isn't reflecting that. And that is what people are questioning, and that is what people brought to our attention.
Honorable Astwood also stated that he wants to inform the Honorable Minister that he and his cabinet colleagues are undermining the credibility of the government all by themselves. He expressed that he and his team are simply sounding the alarm and voicing concerns of almost all TCI residents, including the silent ones, who are too afraid to speak out.
What can jeopardize TCI internationally and locally is not being accurate and correct. False information is what really jeopardizes people. Given a true picture, it doesn't jeopardize you. This is the situation. This is how bad it is. We made a mistake on these numbers. We will correct them. That is how you look good in the international public, not by having all the people question the numbers. So what we're saying is the truth. And the truth must always be said. And you cannot hide behind the truth. Nothing we said was made up or a lie or something that we came up with to be political. This is what our people are saying. And you have to get it out there. You cannot hide things in this day and age.
Honorable Aswood expressed his condolences to the family of the persons who have died recently to COVID-19 and continued.
Sincere condolences go out to those families who have lost loved ones. But what I am saying, especially the elderly, there are things in place now. There are things available. We hear of the therapeutics. We hear of monoclonal antibodies that have been proven to work. They are found, centers are found all over Florida. If an elderly person contract the virus, and you can catch them early, and you can give them the treatment or the antibodies, it's an 80 to 90% chance that they will not develop any severe disease conditions or need to be hospitalization or worse, progress to dying. That has been proven. And this is what we were looking at in 2020, when everything was new, when this was unproven, when these things were new on the market, we were looking at, okay, what are the treatments? What is the next thing we have to put in place for our people? And a year later, when these things have been proven, pharmaceuticals available, we do not have them here. We have no improvement in what we presented to our people. And I say that a lot of these lives could have been saved if when they are positive, we give them the treatment right away, early. Early detection and early treatment is needed.
He elucidated that pharmaceuticals and early treatments that have been proven to be effective are now available, continuing that this should not and do not have to be the occurrence in 2022.
There's much more that can be done in terms of promotion. But my stance on the vaccine is that it shouldn't be forced on people. People have a choice. Just like how God gave us salvation as a choice, we need to give people the choice to be vaccinated or not vaccinated. It is their body. Yes, it is a disease of public health importance. But the science are showing us that vaccinated people still catch the virus. Vaccinated people still transmit and pass the virus to others. And vaccinated people are still dying. But we still have to promote it, and especially for those persons, the elderly and persons with underlying conditions. We must tell them that even though this is still happening, you stand a better chance if you have this weapon on your side. This to fight. This is an additional weapon.
The leader of the opposition also said to not dismiss natural immunity, as vaccines and booster shots aren't the only way of fighting off infections.
We're just saying, if you're not vaccinated, you're not protected. Well, somebody may have had COVID-19 before and recover right away. So they have some sort of immunity. So we have to be truthful and complete with the people and give them a true and complete picture and not hide things or just choose what we want to tell them. Give them the true and complete picture, just like how God and Savior did, and let them make the choice.
He expressed that he believes that the vaccine is being used as an excuse to justify the recent deaths we've seen that were ruled out as a result of COVID-19, making reference to the 32nd death.
I think they're using it as an excuse to justify why we're seeing the numbers. And every time when someone died, they didn't take their booster. They was vaccinated, but they didn't take their booster. No, please leave that out. I do not like saying that. That this person was vaccinated, but they die anyway because they didn't take their booster. That isn't just the reason why they die. There's a number of other factors in there that caused them. And like I said before, it could have been prevented. So they're not doing a good job.
The Honorable Aswood still stands strong on his belief that the current administration is not doing enough and are seemingly hesitant in decision-making.
As leaders, one thing you have to do is be able to be a good listener. You have to be able to listen to all the advice available. You don't just take one person's point of view and then just go with it. And sorry for using a biblical reference again. We have in the Bible the gospel according to Matthew, the gospel according to Mark, the gospel according to Luke, the gospel according to John, telling us one story from 4 different angles. And we as human beings, we can interpret what is the true thing. So the same thing you do as a leader. You listen, you bring in all your advisors, all your stakeholders, internally and externally.
More of this in your subsequent newscast. Don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Coming up next is your Sports Authority and weather forecast. Sister Craft Market Souvenir Shop. Come and visit us for your travel keepsakes, keychains, artwork, t-shirts, clothing, jewelry, and many more. We're located at the Lower Bight gas station in Providenciales, and you can contact us at 649-341-3070. That's 649-341-3070. Sister Craft Market and Souvenir Shop.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your Sports Authority and weather forecast.
The TCI swim team got us up to speed on their latest endeavors, beginning with the Barracuda swim meet in the Bahamas. This was the first stop for Coach Ezekiel Hall and his team before heading to the World Championships in the United Arab Emirates.
The Barracuda swim meet was a meet that was held in Nassau, Bahamas, and we used that as a prep meet to prepare the kids to get some fast times, to get some race competition swimming leading up to the World Swimming Championships. The Barracuda meet in Nassau featured the top swimmers out of the Bahamas. We have about 13 swim clubs in the Bahamas that participated in that meet. And we were fortunate to take some of our senior swimmers, most of our senior swimmers who participated in that meet. And again, we're really proud of how they swam. And they, after having such a long layoff, right, they swam exceptionally well.
For her first swim meet back in the pool, Thais Burgess says it was difficult getting back into the swing of things.
It was a very interesting experience because we haven't been on a swim meet in so long because of COVID, so it was very difficult to get used to it again. But it was a good experience for us. It was difficult because we haven't had that practice in a decent sized pool in so long. So when we did, not all of us we dropped times, but we did really well overall.
Her teammate Danielle Burgess is eager to overcome obstacles this coming season.
I want to do good because in this pool it's hard to practice. So I want to prove to everyone that even though we don't have really good facilities, we can still be great swimmers.
Angela Linden Hahn highlighted the importance of maintaining her mental well-being in competition.
Your mind is a powerful thing, and if you think that you're going to do bad, or if you're afraid of the race, then you're going to end up doing bad.
The team has been up to so much more in the last few weeks. We'll bring you the details in a subsequent newscast. Reporting for your Sports Authority, I'm Ali Carvey.
Here's your 3-day weather forecast. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 75, winds southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 75, winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Monday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 73, winds south-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 75, winds east-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Monday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 75, winds southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high 82, low 74, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 73, winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Monday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 74, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. On Monday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 75, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Saturday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 74, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Sunday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 74, winds south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on Monday, mostly sunny skies, high 81, low 75, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:30 a.m., sunset 5:32 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 10:15 a.m., 10:43 p.m. And for your low tides 4:04 a.m., 4:28 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more News Watch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Fortis TCI has signed a 3-year partnership agreement with the Math Lab to deliver a series of STEM development programs for our students. Take a look.
The Math Lab is a local education and training facility founded in 2019 by Lakense Music, and Fortis TCI has been supporting the STEM summer program for the past 2 years. Annually, the Math Lab exposes students to subjects that will progressively drive careers of the future. STEM particularly encourages creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, and technology use. Fortis TCI President and Chief Executive Ruth Forbes says the utility company is excited to be the exclusive sponsor of the Math Lab's annual programs and to help achieve his vision of advancing STEM in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Lakense Music says the partnership with Fortis TCI displays the importance of organizations coming together to fulfill a common goal, which is the educational and skill development of students, especially in STEM. Quote, I am confident that the Math Lab will fulfill its goal of not only exposing, but also educating and training students in STEM, allowing them to become creators, not just consumers of the technology around them. End quote. For PTV News Watch, I am Delana Als.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course, you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.